budget. We don't have to compensate for that. So it's fascinating that they basically set up these two sets of books, and then they give the power to the chairman of the Budget Committee, who in this case is Mr. Ryan of Wisconsin, a very thoughtful, honest man. You give him the power, however, to make a decision that whatever the CBO says doesn't matter. He can deem or decide exactly what the impact of any provision or any act of Congress is on the budget. One person. Now, I come from Kentucky. We're a big basketball state. Last weekend we had a game, big game rivalry. Kentucky and Louisville played. Didn't come out the way I would like to. But I had to think when we set up these rules that would be like Louisville and Kentucky playing and saying to Coach Pitino of Louisville or Coach Calipari from Kentucky, you get to make all the calls in this game. Our players are going to play. They're going to compete hard. But, Coach Pitino, we're taking the refs off the field. You're the one who's going to call fouls. You're going to make all the decisions. That's what basically the Republicans have done. And what they also said in this process is that they basically decided that the health reform bill changing it, repealing it, will have no impact on the deficit, no impact on the budget. Now, that's fascinating because for the last year and a half, when we debated the Affordable Health Care Act, they kept talking about how this was going to balloon the deficit, how it was going to explode the deficit, trillions of dollars it's going to cost the American taxpayer. Well, now they say, no, has no impact at all on the deficit. Because you have to understand, if it costs nothing to repeal it, then there was no cost to passing it. So one has to question who's been honest in this debate. Who's been honest in this debate? And I understand that finding referees as to who's right and who's wrong and what facts are salient and which facts are accurate has been a difficult process. And my colleague, Mr. King, said that all of a sudden we keep talking about this and expect a liberal light to go on in people's heads. Well, we need some light on this subject because there's been so much attempt, billions and billions of dollars spent to create darkness about the impact of this bill, and that process proceeds today. So I think as we debate this proposal of the Republicans to do away with many of the benefits which we are so proud of, and which many Americans, millions of Americans, are beginning to feel now, that we have the kind of discussion that is honest, that is open, that sheds light on the subject.